What's good, YouTube? It's been a minute, man. We back here with another Death Battle reaction video. Today, they fucked around and put a cold matchup today, though. Look, we got Ichigo versus motherfucking Yusuke. Now, look, both of these motherfuckers is my niggas. We like this. We tight, my nigga. Look, we go way back. Me and Ichigo. I ain't even gonna sit here in front though. I got a little bias though. Me and Ichigo, we go farther back, my nigga. You know, back in the Adult Swim days, my dog. I'm pretty sure freaking Yuyuhakusho was on some shit like that, like fucking Toonami and all that shit. But I need to stop cursing. I grew up watching Bleach. I watched some of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm not gonna lie, that shit is peak. But I didn't make it that far into it. I watched like this is how you know I didn't see the Dark Tournament, like all that shit, all the real fight and shit. I ain't get into it yet, bro. I'm gonna get to it though. I'm gonna get to it. I know y'all can tell me I need to watch it. Chill on me. But I'm gonna see what that motherfucker Yusuke talking about. I know he throw hands. I know he throw hands for real, and he low-key has some, you know, some dealings, some inspirations for our go Akira Toriyama with the you know, the art style and all that shit.
Ichigo Kurosaki.
I know I got my dog though. Ichigo about to come out on top on this shit, bro. And I'm really thinking like Yusuke, what the fuck do he got that's like, you know, on some Soul Society, you know, destructive capabilities? Like, is he in Hueco Mundo really fucking shit up, bro? Like, I don't know. Like, I think this is about to get real ugly. They better show me something about Yusuke.
Substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the Spirit Detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's whizzing out.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that motherfucker do got the hands, but he got the spirit gun too. Is that enough? Like, what else he got?
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tell me, Boomstick, what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead.
Rukia.
The Soul Society.
Works great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow.
Damn, he 29? Shit, he older than me. Fuck.
Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when—
God damn! What causes you to stomp a nigga's head in the ground like that?
Yeah, the only way he knew how,
hold on,
beating people.
Damn! That Yusuke? It's not looking good.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy, called Ryoku, and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, it can stun-lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters
or Hime. I'm more of a Rukia type. Sorry, get out of my face.
Chad, and Uryu, plus Rukia, new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu.
Yeah, that's what y'all think. I ain't gonna say nothing though for the ones who don't know.
Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all
Getsugo Tensho! Man, that's the sword Kamehameha.
sword beams. Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine two at once into the even stronger
God
Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even
Shit.
the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo would
I remember when fucking Hueco Mundo and fucking Vasto Lorde, whatever, what was the name of those ones? I forgot, but you remember when we thought they was the coldest ones, bro.
ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light
These
beams from a
dudes.
Menos Grande. And these
Yeah, Menos Grande. I'm saying some bullshit. I'm over here thinking I know what I'm talking about.
aren't fake, slower than light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too.
Plus, early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind.
But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Yusuke might be fried. This dude might be his counter. What do they gotta say about
can't
this
even
dude?
see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a 10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master. Bankai!
In Bankai, his speed
Ichigo's just built
skyrocketed,
like that.
letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole friggin' Soul Society.
Because
Do y'all know how big the Soul Society is though? Like, do y'all understand? I hope they explain it, cause bro, that's like a whole another dimension, my nigga.
Ichigo's greatest gift is his potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimmjow. He was getting clamped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheering him on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Gojo, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger, Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song, Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power.
Did Yusuke beat Aizen? They putting a lot. They're putting a lot on this dude's plate. A lot.
Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help.
Yeah, we ain't even got to White Zangetsu. We ain't even got to his full hollow powers, G. We just getting the tip of the iceberg, bro.
And conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers. Fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Hollowification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook
Oh,
all of Hueco.
God. Oh my God.
Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with
God, bro. Yusuke, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry you gotta go through this, bro.
With help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu. defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuyuhakusho.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his two Zanpakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuyuhakusho's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and two new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive!
My nigga. Oh, my nigga. I'm worried for him.
They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half.
And he beat Kenpachi? There's so many motherfuckers in this show. But you just had to put him against fucking God, bro? Like, what the hell?
Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms. And strong enough to match Yuyuhakusho, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yuyuhakusho could nuke all three realms. The human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell,
What? Oh my god, I'm about to start crying, bro. Like, it's just too much shit. It's just, I'm feeling bad for this dude, bro.
Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yuyuhakusho was going to end everything
He's
through
scared.
sheer power alone.
God. But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai. A power so great, even Yuyuhakusho was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
Death Battle, y'all gonna have to do a lot of glazing to get this nigga up there to that, cause I know I keep saying that shit, but like that was just feat after feat after feat after, like it's about to sound like just like that. That's what it's about to sound like here, bro. He about to.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the ops are, be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight. It's what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-coon
Bro
begs
actually
another
got
victim.
Swiss cheese in the middle of the street, bro. Like, he really bit the curve.
But
That shit
this
crazy.
is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with his pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation, and told Satan Jr. to stuff it! I mean, he was never really good for anything, and no one was gonna miss him. So
Yeah,
what's
they
the
say
point
that.
of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would...
They did all this for this dude to come back on. This was his #1 altitude. He was hurt. He was hurt, bro.
Shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demon kind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the help of legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke
Swiss
had a limited
cheese.
number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a spirit shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a spirit punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of
We're
you.
moving like
And the
Crime
Spirit
Yuji.
Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Kabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass.
Hold on, Jujutsu Kaisen. I see you. I see what you did here.
We're talking end of the world.
I see the influence, as my boy Ken Carson would say.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun
Okay,
has
hold on,
an
now we're
average
talking.
luminosity of 380 septillion watts.
Man, pulling off some Superman shit? Hold on, we absorbing science.
Or joules per
Piqued my
second.
interest.
Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could erect
Alright, they in the human world and shit. Look, I'm not saying this to just glaze, you know, but like, Ichigo shook 3 realms at the same time.
dedicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally.
That was a very demonish look he just gave.
Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Raizen, the Demon King.
With his Bazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons.
I ain't
like
seen this-
normal Reiki, it can be
Hold
amplified
on.
by intense emotions.
I ain't never
Unlike
seen him look
normal
like that.
Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable
God.
feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-Class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From "I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi"? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the demon...
Is it worth it to finish, though? I was talking to somebody about it. I was like, is it worth it to finish Yuyuhakusho? I started, finished, 1.5 seasons and went and watched One Piece. By the way, best piece of fiction out there. I'm gonna keep saying that shit. Yeah, I took a break on it. So, should I go back to it? Let me know.
King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Okay. They put up a good case for that dude. I ain't even gonna lie. But bro is fried. I'm not gonna lie.
You like my vibe.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, y'all, it's time to get serious.
That's a demon.
That's a hollow.
No doubt about it.
Alright, the simple going here. They just, they testing the waters, testing each other out. You're getting Ichigo with them hands, I ain't gonna lie. You might have. What the heck?
Hollow. Chump change.
Damn.
Reckless idiot.
He just put that man up running to bed. I ain't gonna cap. He did that
Little
thing.
demon energy got you scared.
Oh, he already flexing the demon energy? Oh, he's fried.
Getsuga! Yujisho! Two at once? Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Man, he got you that pressed already? He ain't even done shit.
You just hold me back!
Unless you take Ichigo out swiftly and efficiently, this shit is over.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it. Like old times.
This was, he didn't even say Bankai or nothing. And he already doing all that?
that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on, asshole!
Why are you moving like Sakuna? What the fuck?
Kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
Give me a freaking break.
You light my fire.
The other side.
I tried to,
I think the afterlife offer.
bro. Ichigo could have went harder. He could have went harder. Why did they make this a matchup? What the fuck? Ah, shit. God damn, what y'all got to say, bro?
Frequent flyer miles.
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see
Yusuke is washed in all these categories, by the way. Just so y'all know.
Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dongai training,
And all those swords, he just had way more abilities to play with.
likewise,
I don't see fucking Yusuke making shit just fucking fall apart off of one swing of off one flick of the sword like that, man. Hell no, bro. I'm
speed
sorry.
was a fairly
I
easy call.
fuck with Yusuke too.
could react
That's
to
the
lightning
thing.
early on and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see
bro,
me.
niggas was outspeeding their shadows. What, nigga?
Yakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuyuhakusho that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought
By a
plenty
long
of
shot.
foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kind of
Tactics.
both
Man,
their
fuck them tactics. Kill that nigga. That's the tactic, man. I ain't trying to hear this shit.
things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning
I mean, they are kind of some knuckleheads. Just let me go beat his head off. So I guess.
factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuyuhakusho, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair,
I've been
Yusuke
saying- I was
also
trying to
beat
say this shit
Yakumo,
at
who
the
could
start,
threaten
bro.
2 realms at the same time. Pretty close to Yuyuhakusho threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo,
What's the debate? What other dimensions is Yusuke shaking? Ichigo was fucking up, other pocket dimensions. Not just 3. Like didn't they say I don't know if they say Ichigo did that, but some nigga in Bleach did that. And if some other nigga in Bleach can do it, Ichigo can do it, cause he's Bleach Jesus. So whatever, you know? What else you got?
It's not. Yuyuhakusho was also gonna destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Yeah.
each containing at least a planet and star,
I was just saying this shit, bro.
much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yuyuhakusho in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how...
Niggas was bored in that damn studio. What the hell was this matchup?
Alright, come on. Got a drop on this flexin' nigga. He from Tennessee. I had a thought she be with the shit. She told me where he be.
If you ever thought Ichigo was losing his fight,
Customer service. Give me straight to the bitch, bro.